Thank you. It's good to be here this morning with you. My name is Jerry James. I'm a petroleum engineer from Marietta, Ohio. Before I get into all the facts and figures, because there's a lot of them, I want to step back and talk a little bit of why energy and why you should care. We'll go through a little bit of the historical, the economic, and the technical parts of this. As a native Ohioan, if you ask me to describe Ohio, I'll tell you we're a manufacturing state. We make things in Ohio. What you may not realize is the reason we're a manufacturing state and everything is because we have energy. Before Texas ever produced oil, before Saudi Arabia ever produced oil, the leading producer of oil in the world was Ohio. The leading producer of oil in the world was Ohio in the late 1800s and early 1900s. And when you tell people that, they always look at you funny, particularly from Texas. But you actually kind of know that because Marathon Oil Company is in Findlay, Ohio. We're a worldwide exploration company. The Standard Oil Company started in Cleveland. What we have in Ohio is we first developed reserves. The modern petroleum industry starts in our state. Once we develop the oil and gas reserves, then we develop the industry. In the late 1800s, Findlay, Ohio discovered natural gas. Within 1 year, 50 industrial concerns opened in Findlay, Ohio. So when you look around Ohio, you see us, we produce things like glass, steel, and rubber. The reason is we have energy. That worked real well for us until the 1970s when energy started becoming short supply and the price went up. And if you're a native Ohioan, you kind of realize ever since then we've been struggling. Well, what's changed right now is there's a game changer going on. What you may not realize in the present day is natural gas production last year hit an all-time high. Let me repeat that again. You never hear that. Natural gas production hit an all-time high. And the reason is we went back to the source of where oil and gas are produced. And that's the technical part. Oil gas traditionally is produced from sandstones or limestones. And the reason is we have void spaces in them, and that's where the oil and gas accumulates. But if you've ever looked at a sandstone or limestone, they tend to be light brown or gray. That's not where the oil and gas originated, because oil and gas, as you all know, is dark colors. But the reason it's dark colors is it's dead critters. And it originated in the shale. We always knew the source of the oil and gas was the shale, but we didn't have the technology to unlock the shales to produce it. That's the game changer that's went on. That's why natural gas production is at an all-time high. Oil production is actually increasing. If we continue to open up the Gulf of Mexico, actually oil production is up for the first time in a generation. When you see that, you ask, well, what difference does that make to the average consumer? Natural gas production is down almost 75% from its peak in price from 3 or 4 years ago. Oil production in this country, the price of oil is 25% less in the United States than it is on the worldwide market. There's been a huge change in the prices as the production increased. So when I go through a lot of these numbers, you've got to put some context to it. You cannot have a healthy economy unless you have available and affordable energy. That's the key to everything. That's how Ohio became an industrial state. That's how the United States became an industrial state. And hopefully with these shales, we're back to doing that again. First we'll go through the existing production we have in Ohio. It's kind of interesting. I said Ohio is the leading producer of oil in the world. We've had 274,000 wells drilled in the last 150 years. We have a vibrant industry in Ohio, which is partially why we have the advantage to take advantage of these shales. We're going to gross several $100 million in existing conventional wells in the state of Ohio this year. If you added up the value of all the oil and gas in Ohio and put it in present day dollars, it'd be $125 billion historically has been produced from the state. Keep in mind, all the oil and gas historically been produced from the state migrated from these shale formations that we're getting ready to explore right now. Our gross regional output is nearly $1 billion from the existing wells we have right now. The total output is $1.7 billion. In the last 10 years, we've paid nearly $1 billion to Ohio landowners in the form of royalties. Paid nearly $33 million even in a down year in 2010 in taxes. Personal income, we generate nearly $800 million in the state of Ohio. I want to go a little bit into the shale. I want to mention one thing. I'm going to jump over one slide. There's already 12,000 jobs generated from the upstream oil and gas production energy industry in the state of Ohio. We already have a extreme infrastructure. Rhonda Rita mentioned that we have Marietta College's petroleum engineering school. To show you how rare that is, there's only 18 petroleum engineering schools in the entire United States, and we already have one in the state of Ohio. I want to talk a little bit about the Utica Shale. We'll back up for a little bit just so you can see this. This is the surface right here. This is the fresh water. As you go down, there's the Brea sandstone. For those familiar with the oil and gas industry, historical area we produced. As you go on down, there's the Clinton sandstone right here. And then we have the Utica shale down here. Rhonda Rita mentioned we've actually drilled through the Utica shale a number of times. Our company alone has drilled through the Utica shale in the last 10 years 200 times. So we know it's down there. The question is, can we produce it economically? The projections you're about ready to see will show what will happen if we can produce it economically. In other words, it's difficult for the average person to understand. They said, well, you know it's down there. I said, if I knew it was down there, I wouldn't be the leading driller of dry holes in the state also. So we don't know until we drill it. That's the one thing we've got to do. We have to drill it. If you look at it, they've gone through a 5-year projection, and they've looked at the number of wells drilled, the amount of expenditures made. They show that they're estimating the total expenditures in the first year will be $246 million. They're thinking 4 years out, if we follow the model in Pennsylvania, it'll be $14 billion a year in drilling and completion expenses alone. $14 billion a year would generate a lot of jobs. Total of $35 billion estimated in a 5-year period. They look at the output of the state, and when you look at the output, I had to ask the economist exactly what this means. What it means is, and you can visualize this, when you generate and drill a well, you create economic output, not only the value of the oil and gas sales, but the induced value people receive the income from drilling the oil and gas wells. They'll buy new pickup trucks, houses, cars, everything. That then generates an economic output. They're estimating the economic output through year 2015 at a total of $22 billion. They're looking at the royalty payments in that first 5 years, a total of $1.7 billion. That's more than we've produced in the last 10 years. They're looking at the total severance ad valorem, commercial activities tax, federal income tax, state income taxes at $478 million of total economic activity. It should be pointed out the oil and gas industry pays taxes. We do not receive subsidies. Looking at deployment, this is the number I think everybody actually wants to see. It's the number I want to see. I'm a native Ohioan. And one of the things I tell my people when we worked on this, and we've been working on this for a couple of years, is we say, if this works, this could be the biggest game changer for the people we know. Because we're from southeastern Ohio. Southeastern Ohio wants one thing, they want good jobs. If this works, this could create a lot of economic activity. They followed through the model of all the spending, and they're predicting it's possible. If this thing is economic and it works the way it's anticipated, there'll be over 200,000 jobs by the year 2015. Wages in the workplace at $12 billion. And now I'll switch it over to somebody actually probably knows more about the job aspects than I do, and that's David Mustine. I was going to say Director David Mustine, but he's now JobsOhio.
Thanks, Jerry. Well, JobsOhio is all about retaining jobs, creating new jobs, and getting new investment in our state. What better opportunity could we have than that presented to us in the Utica Shale, as evidenced in this report and study that UJEEP has just completed. We think it's the combination of this segment, the oil and gas segment, as well as others, manufacturing, logistics, biomed. It's the combination of those that's really going to give us a sustained economic recovery in Ohio. We look forward to putting 100% of our effort into this shale development. We look forward to making this opportunity a reality so that all Ohioans benefit from it in this economic growth. Thank you very much.